Hello, hello. Welcome to Tiny Town Tactics. Today we are starting a brand new city on normal mode in City Skylines 2. If you guys know, you know. So, starting a new series Friday nights, 9 o'clock, City Skylines live streams. So, we're here live on YouTube and Twitch. Starting out, new city today. And I am definitely going to start on normal, as I said. But what we got here are tons of maps because I got tons of DLC. So, I normally like to start on something that everybody has. Waterway Pass is usually a good one. It's got quite a bit of good things. It's got every connection. These are things you need to be looking at. It does have a pretty hard winter. I don't play with mods. You should know that. So I don't switch anything up. I do disable like darkness, but I might turn that back on here because we're doing Cities at Dark, a new series here on the Tiny Town Tactics channel. Alright, so my favorite map, honestly, is this Ribbon Isles one. But we are going to do this warm weather Driftwood Reach. It's got plenty of stuff. The buildable area is what it is. But it's a nice new map that not a lot of people probably have. So let's start our new city on normal. And our Southern Hemisphere European theme. What do we got that's European themed, but in the Southern Hemisphere? Does that track? Do we do Hong Kong? Would that be weird? We're gonna do it, because why not? We got some Chinese themed things in here, so okay. Where do you start? First off, I do want to end up being profitable in this end of this first stream. I want to show you how to start the city and not build all the services at once, but build enough. And I did choose this map. It does not have anything that we can do with wind, so I can't find a nice little area. There's kind of one over here, but not really. It's not going to get you anything, so not really enough. So we are going to have to maybe build a coal power plant, which is kind of costly, but we'll see here. Okay, so when starting, identify things like, where is the residential going to go? Where is industrial going to go? Where are my resources at? Where's the landfill going to go? Where's my water going to go? Lots of stuff to calculate here. So go to your info, start looking at resources. Where are you going to build farms? You don't want to get too overeager, because buying tiles on normal mode, the upkeep is quite intense. So, and then you look at your wind, see that you know the industrial is going to be blowing this way. So it would appear as though, you know, you probably want some residential down here, nice flat areas. I forget, looks some contours. Okay, so it's not necessarily super flat everywhere, but yeah, so probably residential, and industrial closer to the highway. We'll have farmland. Could kind of make a farm community up here too. We'll see. We will see. I'm not trying to get too crazy. I kind of just want to get a little quick lay of the land and then start making some things to get us profitable. So we could look here at the water. This is kind of what I was hoping. So I think what I want to end up doing, the smartest way to make money is to sell power. On easy mode, that's pretty easy because you can, build your way up to getting a gas power plant or something real quick. Normal, it's a little more difficult, but I want this geothermal because there's a nice big pocket of water right here that I don't really care about polluting. So that looks like a perfect place for the geothermal power plant. Alright. Let me look at something real quick. Okay. So let's start building. As you can see here, I'm not really sure when all these roads came about. I can see that these ones specifically are for the Ports DLC. And the quays are kind of fun to work with, and I might do more of that. But I have to first start with getting some water off of this thing. So, yeah. We need to make sure that we can get top-notch water. We'll put that there. We'll put that there. And we'll connect them as we go here. So Okay. So what I'm kind of gonna do is maybe make a little quay thing here and a community over here and then another community up over here, and we'll have some buffer with some resource such as livestock, or we'll have a grain farm over here. Still have not done the inland fishing. We might mess around with that again. And maybe a forestry here. So this was always interesting because I almost always wanted to put stone right here. Just make a little quick stone thing. And then for that, it's just kind of like a perfect place for the geothermal. It's going to take me a minute to get that geothermal though. I'm a little worried about overcommitting because it's going to be expensive. I don't want to take out a loan to necessarily do that. So we'll have to see if we can get there. Too much. Alright. So we do have a quay here. Fun times. Okay. So I like to do continuous series of bends. with the quays. And what I do is I kind of have these as a good ways. Traffic is kind of tough, so when you don't have buildings on one side of the road, it's kind of nice. So I'll put like kind of medium residential buildings along this road to overlook the river. It's kind of fun. And in this case, they got a little hill here too. I might, put it like a school up on the hill or something behind it, So I'm not going to do the quay all the way to that. So maybe right there. It kind of looks silly, but it's only because of the contour line. Alright, and we'll see. We'll see how that goes. We don't want to build too much too quickly. I keep saying that. And I'm kind of just winging it. So gonna keep power off for now. Interesting. Oh. Okay. So, got our little quay here. Now let's see. If we want to do residential here. $160. $160 by $160. Yeah, so I should talk more. I have a lot of hours in the game. I'm still messing around with what is the best low res. So when you're making residential, basically the biggest that they can have is the 6x6. But like low residential, they can't have 6x6. I think they can only have 4x6. So 4x6, that's the biggest you can have. But they're not going to make that. So what you do is you do rows of 2, so that you can kind of force them to make smaller buildings. And then, because this is actually only 8 across, they're not going to even make 2x6. They're not going to make 2x6. They're going to make a 2x4. And they're going to make 2 of them. So, this is what I like to do. 160s and then 2x2s. So that you have 4 or 2x4s. Yeah. But you do 2 boxes at a time. Hopefully I get better at explaining this as I go. Okay. So that's my grid that I like to do. Is it 160? About 160. Cool. And if you use the grid tool, shorter distances are best. So you can see that if I don't do it the way that I have been doing it, it's gonna mess up. So I don't even know what the way I was doing it was. So from this way. Okay. And yeah, if you have to turn off some of the snappings because they mess with they mess with a lot of stuff, no doubt. Just be aware of that. Okay. So that's kind of what our grid's gonna look like. Down by the river. Oh wait, is this a river? No. Driftwood Reach, huh? Pretty flat. I mean, out here on the peninsula kind of thing. Yeah. So this is like a bay. Oh, yeah. The name, I forgot. We sit on. I forgot. The name of our city is Neon Harbor. It's spelled like that, the old English way. Neon Harbor. Okay. And I hope eventually we do get people joining. I know people will probably watch this on replay, mostly. And that's cool. But I think once I, get the hang of it, I'll add maybe another day. But we're just going to start low, slow Fridays. 9 p.m. Pacific. After everybody goes to bed. Cities after dark. Okay. So we could kind of curve a road here. For some farms. When you make a farm, I've also been trying to do a lot of bicycle paths now that I have the bicycle paths, because they're fun and they kind of they can be added to the roads, but they don't have to be. It's kind of fun, so I just been making them almost as my substitute pathways. Anyway, I digress. Farms. So eventually we're gonna have, a couple. You'll have your grain farm, your vegetable farm, your cotton farm, and your agricultural farm. The last one doesn't need fertile land, but the other ones do. So let's flush out one more why is that wrong? Oh, what's going on? Okay, 160 all these snaps are gonna mess me up. $160. Oh no. I guess I should have. Okay. I didn't account for the other road. That makes sense. Okay. All right, so we're doing our grid. Sorry, I'm not talking. We're doing our grid up here. We probably went, well, no, we didn't go one too many. So, okay. And again, we can, I really highly suggest controlling your low residential. You're going to control your high residential because of traffic and parking and all that good stuff when we ever get to it. But controlling your low residential is a must for me. So, yeah, okay. Farms. Let's start off up here with the farm. So, I make farms probably different every single time. Sometimes I'm just like, I'm gonna make, as much farmland as possible. I'm gonna get as much resources, and you're always overproducing. And so you're probably making money because of that overproducing, but like, really, are you? Like, I don't know. So let's just kind of make like a fun looking farm. Yeah. So, people do fun things. Add flowery bushes. Oof. Yeah, that's probably not really what I'm looking for. We'll figure it out as we go. Don't need to spend too much time doing the crazy things that all the other people do. Okay. We do still need to connect our sewage here, but and probably connect our grid here of residential to the road. But let's make sure we haven't made our industrial area, but we think it's going to be here because it's going to kind of go around a power plant that we hope to put there. So this main road. We can make like a little forest thing here. I said kind of put a school on the hill here so we can loop off another community here. Maybe, or if we think we'll build another farm right next door with whatchamacallit, livestock. So our livestock farm. Right next door to the other farm. Not even going to waste any space. Now I am going to try and maybe do something similar with the forestry here. So two farms. Probably don't need that big of a wood zone, but it does end up making more jobs and making more money in the long run. So what still do we have left? Stone, maybe. I still think we could make the school could be up here. With possibly like a downtown being here, and we still push the industrial this way. Industrial. So, or maybe we just make the downtown. So, don't have any large roads yet. But I kind of feel like See, here's what I do also kind of like to do. For any of your if you ever are looking for your medium residential, what are we gonna do? Oof, why is that like that? I messed that up. I'm getting off track here. Medium residential. You need parking. Ends up being somewhat. I like that they added these parking things because, yeah, it ends up being a real problem. Especially like once your building levels are like 4 and 5, parking becomes a real problem. So I do kind of want to do the divided one is kind of obnoxious, but it works. Maybe we'll get there. So, yeah, that looks good. Medium residential requires parking, and then these parking also do this obnoxious thing where it adds crosswalks. So just be aware. I don't see a lot of people talking a lot about roundabouts. I kind of have a weakness for roundabouts. I do roundabouts instead of, very, very early on, specifically, instead of dealing with stoplights, when everybody's moving in all at once. It's probably the most obnoxious thing is to have these stoplights. So, anyway, I'm a little upset that I must have messed something up here. That it has a one spot here. Anyway. So we now have another spot on a hill here. Kind of looks nice. Maybe we'll put I don't know yet. I don't know yet. Okay, so what do we got? Water. When we hit milestone, we'll turn water way down, so we're not wasting a whole bunch of money. We haven't connected this over here yet, that's fine. We don't have an industrial area yet, that's fine. We have some residential started. I haven't talked at all about commercial, and I do have this nice little waterfront commercial that I might do like here. Yeah, we'll do that right there. And then there's some low density here. Yes, I really like that. And then we'll do the low density here. We'll give them some nice big opportunities here, since they won't need the parking spaces. We'll probably do a row housing here for these parking spots. But these guys get like pools and stuff. That's fun. Yeah. We'll probably end up having more, more commercial there. When you get signature buildings, I'll probably alternate signature building and, like a big towering building here, or I might use the, forget what they're called. They're more signature buildings, but they're Mediterranean ones, I think, are nice. They look nice along this road. Okay, we could pretend like we're gonna place a coal power plant and really blow all our money. 300 XP, would that get us? Yeah, that'd almost get us all the way there. Here's the cheating way. Roundabouts. Yeah, I don't really want that though. Okay, so let's think about our industrial there. And maybe a landfill down here. We're gonna do this. We're gonna make a stone here, I think. Yeah. Oh, I should talk more. Okay. So, you probably don't need this much stone. Usually you don't need these much resources. But right now I'm just filling it out. Filling the city out a little bit. It does this weird thing, it won't let you jump the water when you're first making it. So, we got that. I never know what to do with this part because I'm waiting for it, but I need power, so I should build a coal power plant, but I'm not gonna need it. Oh, what to do? Let's connect this here. So we have all of our extractors, as one would say. Get our resources. We got a little community ready to go over here. Haven't unlocked garbage. We do need power. Or an industrial area. We could kind of. So our industrial right here around the quarry. I don't suggest building the transformer station unless you're going to sell power from wind, because that's the only way you're going to sell it, or if you need to import it, then you need one. So right now it's like, do I import it and just wait? I think that's probably what I'm going to do. We're going to bite the bullet and import this power here. Until always go down to when you're connecting. See how this is? I don't want to connect it up. I like to connect it underneath as much as possible to our substation here. If you're a 49ers fan, you know all about power substations. Okay. So we have power, we have water, we have jobs available, we have housing available, we have commercial available. Let's start it. Our journey into Neon Harbor begins. So we'll start to lose money, but we'll get experience here as people come into the city. There's always too much commercial demand to begin with, and then you'll zone too much. It's the first thing that always happens. See, nice little 4x4 squares, or 2x4. Sorry, excuse me. All right, we'll kick it up here. Still losing money. Okay. All right, people moving in. Our money has, we're still losing, but it looked like it plateaued there at least. I don't want to give it too much of that yet. And then, because you zoned like that, you can now zone like this. Capture it all. Except these little spots here that I'm going to have to... Maybe I do... Alright, first milestone. We're good. We'll drop it down a little bit here. Now I do have some medium residential demand immediately. So let's take care of that. Yeah, it's going to want all of it, huh? Did I get a... Okay. I like this little spot here. If you know, you know that it'll end up fitting our first signature building, the floor to something. Because I don't know. Alright. Do we have hospitals and do we have cemeteries? Yes. Are we going to place them? Probably not. Importing a lot of electricity. I'm already making money. Yikes. Okay. Already making money. Taxation. I was going to bump it up to make money already. Residential. They're fine with 10. Commercial. They're fine with 12. Industrial. They're fine with 12. Now I say fine. Would they like it? Sure. But is it going to really hurt their demand? No. Okay. So, what other things did we get? We got another farm. We got tiles we could buy. I could build another farm up here. If I wanted her, I could build a little farm here. Roads, I got double lane with parking, which would be nice. But this is a quay. Just remember, this is a quay, so we don't want that. We'll put parking on there if we... Maybe. We'll see. I like some of the parking garages. They're fun. Okay. Hospital or clinic. Not right now. Can't believe I'm making money while importing power. Okay. I love to look at this. This is easily my number one go-to. Looking at unemployment. How many jobs, how many people are, or how many are employed in your unemployment rate. Keeping that under 5 is needed to keep the homeless crazy. Like, it can get tough. And we'll lower taxes maybe here soon too, because we got tons of open stuff. Okay. But they don't have jobs, so we need to give them jobs. And we can't get our power plant quite yet. One more progression tile and we'll get it. Right, we'll get 2 there. And we'll get it. So I could build that. I'm not going to. I could build... They added a small cemetery, so that's nice. That's crazy upkeep. I could add that. I might add a small clinic. But maybe we should just make another community. So I'm gonna do that divided again because I like it. And we're gonna put the school on the hill here. guys. Gotta have the roundabouts. And then we don't have access to schools yet, so this is going to be our downtown, like just our bigger community, I would guess to say. So do they need jobs? Yeah, they need jobs pretty bad. That's okay. We made a little thing over here. I wish I could kind of gauge how big this thing is, because it's kind of big, so I don't want to build too crazy over here. So let's just do what we've got, and then should I just make this all? I don't like doing that. I don't like just doing all commercial down this main road here. But maybe on the other side I'll put service type buildings, or like the other school, right? We'll have the other school here. A high school. Get to talk about the high school. Schools, which schools are best. Sorry. Okay. Let's bump it up. Plenty of jobs, but does it take a while for these people to come in, or what? How do you have 9%, 10% unemployment? Okay. Did I get any other? Oh, I could do. Man, this would be really interesting. The inland fishing thing. So you have to. You have to build like the storage off the sides of the road here. I'm going to show you, hopefully. So, yeah. So, I'm not sure if it's going to make too much fish in this limited area. And add more jobs. 4 jobs. Holy cow, my unemployment. Okay. This isn't working. I mean, it is. I'm making money. But my unemployment's crazy. Is it because my taxes are too high? Alright. We'll lower the taxes. Does that help? Alright. We got people wanting the services. So, let's do the little cemetery and the modern clinic. Because we're going to be putting all modern stuff here on this this road. It's going to be our modern road here. Because a lot of the this modern architecture, a lot of the modern architecture buildings are legit good. This need more industry. I do like these extractors that you can kind of just get rid of their space if you need to, which is what I'm doing right now. Yeah, I'm probably not the best there. But they needed jobs, man. Man, they needed jobs. Alright, and all of our demand is back. We haven't built power, and we're not going through the roof with power. So that's fun. It never usually works out for me. It's usually just super expensive on normal to buy power, and not really as beneficial to sell it, even though I'm gonna build this geothermal power plant because I have enough money, and yeah, it's like what I've been gunning to do. So yep, Neon Harbor. Milestone 2. Florida the probably the, huh? Oh, Florida the. Okay, so this thing, where did I say I liked it? Over here somewhere, right there, boom. Cool. All of these are full. I'm happy for you guys, not all of them, but yeah. Cool. Good little communities here. We'll put our we have this little cemetery here, but we're gonna put our modern high school here too, and then our elementary school probably up here. And we have big buildings. I like it. But the most important thing here, let's build the power plant. Okay, it is very big, man. Okay, let's try and minimize the space, and we'll push. Oh, you don't like that fish sticks? You don't like that fish sticks? Okay. Well, it didn't need anything else? It looks like it should be a road here, so we're gonna put it there. Cool. Oh yeah, we're gonna sell this power, so otherwise we're losing a whole bunch of money real fast. So it doesn't need to connect. Here's the other thing. For wind turbines, they need a transformer to sell the power, because it converts it from like low wattage to high wattage, whatever. For anything else, you don't need it. It can go directly out of the zone. It doesn't need to go through a transformer. So now I could technically get rid of this transformer because I don't need it. And it's just costing me money. Okay, so are we back to making money? Service trade? Yes. Back to making money. After cemetery, modern clinic. And we have 61,000 to play with. And we need a elementary school. Again, this modern architecture might be the best. So I said we'd put it up here, huh? Up on the hill. Okay. Playground. Oh, darn. I guess right there. I probably shouldn't have did that. But wow. See now our service trade, yeah, again. Selling of this electricity. It's not producing the most efficient right now, but selling electricity is the way to make money. So cool. Need more residential here. So do we do some things up here? Again, 6 deep. Nice. Do 2 big. Oh, see, I don't want it. I don't want it that bad. Okay. Oh, nice. Yeah, see? You can choose your low res. Two by two. Just like what, Noah's Ark? Oh man. Okay. Bumped up the speed. I'm losing money now mostly because we probably don't have enough people to run this over here. So it's not running the most efficiently, but it will be. Yeah. And then if it is, then it costs money to run and blah, 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 blah. So. We don't have any cotton or vegetables. That's good to know. We haven't purchased any tiles. That's good to know. So, I should be talking. Sorry. Just zoning out. Literally. Okay, it still wants more commercial. I don't want to give it more commercial. I should let the people move in so then it doesn't backfire and keep jostling between not having enough people. I don't have any buildings that are telling me hard to find labor, so I'm gonna relax for a second, build up some money. We're gonna hit another milestone. You can mess with things like no, oh yeah, we could turn this down, huh? No service fee on water. That increases happiness. And you're not making that much money on like water specifically. Service fee. That's fun. It will increase how much they use, but it's not that much. And they get happy for low water fees. So, and that helps you progress like that. Boom. Riverside Grill, one of my favorite signature things here. And I was definitely looking to put it probably there. But maybe... I don't know. Okay, 500 XP just for building that. Alright, do we need police? Do we need fire? Police. In my experience, all of the things tend to happen, all of the crimes and stuff tend to happen in industrial zones or like office type things or like garbage dumps. It's random. We have still not, this is always what ends up happening to me is, unless you get like the gas power plant, nothing really requires you to pick up garbage right away. So you can push the garbage situation to later. This is one of the reasons that I make money right away is that I don't have any garbage. There's no garbage there yet. Nobody's complaining about garbage yet. If you do get a gas power plant, that uses like 60,000 units of water, and it immediately needs to get the garbage picked up. So just be aware. Alright. Still needs more zoning. Needs fire. Needs rescue. I didn't put that down, huh? Did I? No. Okay. Put down fire first. What else did we get? Ore and coal. Still haven't bought any map tiles, and we don't have garbage. So I could you know, a lot of people go for the crematorium first. It's a pretty decent one. if you don't want. So now that they have a small cemetery, it's fine, but it used to not be fine. Advanced road services, and then getting a highway or parking areas is pretty good. But road services are, it's a good one to have. So eventually I'll talk about, an arterial road and then the connectors and such. But for now, I'm just trying to show how to start a normal city off. City Skylines. Let's kick those taxes back up. See if they lower the amount of jobs. Sometimes that happens. And then this power plant is the most efficient, I find, as far as wages versus how much electricity you're outputting. And then if you add any of these add-ons are also just as efficient, if not more. So they're beneficial to add both the add-ons here. Not beneficial enough to take out a loan to do that, but okay. Nice little community with our 2x4 houses. I still don't have garbage. That's funny. Oh, lack of labor. Okay. Let's go back up here. Oh, my bad. Getting distracted as always. Alright. The labor thing should go away. Okay. Making money. Still no garbage sign. I like that. You could get, to avoid the landfill, you get one of these recycling centers probably, but I don't have enough money for that. Yeah, 880,000. It's tough. Tough looking. Okay. Happiness. High crime risk. So. We're gonna wait and build this one. Maybe not. Yikes, high crime risk. I'm not really sure if the taxing is worth it or not. I was always curious. This guy upgrades houses. Like, he's a semi-truck driving around residential areas, like, with timber. Just upgrading houses. That's weird. I guess. I don't know. Doing out here. Okay, so we got garbage piling up. Finally. I don't have enough money to even build a landfill, and you wouldn't want to build it. Right. Where so, I can't even take out a big enough loan to do a recycling center. So what I am gonna do is pause the game, because if I don't handle this, yeah, your production's already gonna go down a little bit. If I don't handle this, it's gonna be bad. My money's gonna go away. So I'll take 100 and we'll buy two pieces of land here. Oh, didn't buy enough. Oh, or sorry, didn't take out enough. Oh, I didn't check to see if this was. You should check your resources. This is off the cuff. Probably not the best to be doing your garbage off the cuff. Usually it doesn't affect me, but it got me. Okay. Yeah, losing money because of the loan. All right, it's tough. Alright, we'll see if this straightens itself out here. And let's see what it's like for our little garbage truck to go through the city here. Hmm. I should be talking more. Okay. Back to losing money. Probably mostly because of tile upkeep and loan interest here. But now we're back to making all the money from our exports. So, lack of labor. I digress. Let's put everything back to normal. Back to normal. Okay. At milestone 4, we get high, low rent housing. I was like high density, but it's not high density, it's low rent. Okay. Oh, zoning. Keep your people zoning. Okay. So I'm gonna chip away at this little bit by little bit because it's kind of obnoxious if you don't. Yeah. As you can see here, like 10,000 out of 600,000. It's quite a bit. It's a big percentage, so you can just get rid of. Okay. More people will move in. Something else you kind of need to think of. Building in steps, because when you start zoning out a bunch of stuff at one time, like high density stuff, they all move in at once. You have like 15,000 taxis in here. Look at them all. There's too many already. So Riverside Grill, one of the bests. Making money again. That tile upkeep, man, will kill you. So I bought two tiles, and I'm not really utilizing it the best. So we should be thinking about another cul-de-sac up here, neighborhood up here, probably. The fish farm. The fish farm. See, now I have too many people. are about to hit milestone 4 and get parks and low rent housing. Pretty important stuff. But we're gonna close out this loan. Hopefully, do you get 100,000? You do. We're gonna close out the loan. That's the fun part. Okay. Oof. Tough look. Okay. So, these ones are pretty fun. And then espresso on the go is a good one. Ooh, we got office buildings. Even next to the high school that I'm going to build. That I don't have money for. Oil. Oil's important. Ooh, offshore oil here, maybe. Maybe. And it's okay that you put this landfill here, because hopefully eventually you'll get rid of it. You can make enough money that you'll be able to get rid of it. So. Okay. No loan. No service trade. Taxes are still 10. Office, they kind of like 9. And again, industrial, they could go up. But let's do some park stuff. So. Oof, no money. No money, guys. No money. Okay, we're gonna wait a few seconds here, and then we can get this. Park. We placed all of our signature buildings, always place those. Free XP, plus they do nice little things, well-being and such. I'm not going to worry about mass transit right now. This is a normal city, and that's tough to be starting off under 2,000 people with any mass transit. But here we are. Gonna put a colored plaza here. Making money, taxes aren't crazy. We put our service fees back. Could make districts. We finally have our happiness in the big green. School. Again, the modern high school. Plan on putting here on the sillish somewhere. It's the best high school that there is. It might be the best building in the game, most efficient building in the game. Modern high school. God bless. Okay. Modern pocket park. Okay. Things that you definitely want to get. The park maintenance depot and the road service depot. You want those. You want them a lot because you'll need them. These parks will get torn through pretty quickly. 2 residents already. I already have homeless people here. Great. Yeah. 2 homeless already. Okay. Here is how to start a city on normal. Again, Friday nights we are going to be doing Neon Harbor. I have a lot of DLCs. We're going to go through ports. We're going to go through shoot. Sorry. I forgot what the other ones were. Sorry. Anyway, we'll do the oil drilling, offshore stuff. Like I said, ports. The parking structures. We'll end up making more, farms. Transit. Plenty of stuff going on with the modern architecture in the transit realm. Universities, they have like community college, that's fun. Really, the modern architecture expansion might be my favorite, so I hope to continue to pass along all my knowledge on this game Friday nights here on the Tiny Town Tactics channel. I'll get better, don't worry. Alright. Everything's working good. No complaints. We're making money pretty well here, actually. I would love to probably, just keep it rolling and then buy these when I can, because they're just gonna make me more money. And then your people will grow, their buildings will unlock, or you get more people because X, Y, and Z. Anyway, yeah. So, what could we look at? We could look forward and we could be like, we're going to build more farmland. Let's see, I have some more farmland over here. All of our pollution's going off, that's good. Company profitability. I haven't messed around with trying to tax somebody. Like, the vehicles always seem to make a lot of money. I've tried to text them specifically. I've tried to give, coal, like if I made a new coal mine, I might try and just give them a boost to try and get the level up quick, but it's not even really needed. This is my most disliked thing in the game. Really? Garbage fee. Okay. Slow and steady wins the race here. So, we wait, and we wait. And we think about, where will we put things? Do we keep expanding over this way? Probably. We probably keep expanding over here with our people and our farms. And then over here, we expand with an oil, an offshore oil situation down here. We should look at our production. Overkill on timber. Overkill on grain. Overkill on livestock. Overkill on fish. We need to make a vegetable farm. We need oil. We need some coal and minerals. So, but overkill on stone. So, way good on the things that we have. Minor needs. Making money. We don't have any offices. I kind of don't want to make any. So, if I got a whole bunch of free money, which I don't have, 140,000 a month, that would drain all of it. But I would make both of these and get back most of that money. And then what do we got on milestones? Mixed housing, that's a nice thing to have. And then communications, post office, and internet. Good stuff. Good stuff indeed. We haven't touched the highway. Traffic is perfect because we don't have, this is the only problem area, which is definitely why we want to expand and give probably some relief. I don't know. Do we want this one to continue? Maybe. And then there are much better parks than the one I put, but Passage Park's a good one. I like that one. Sometimes it'll connect things so you won't have to use pathways. Like that. If you can see, it would connect if I put it there, but I don't want to put it there. And I do still need this high school. Traffic? It is a little bit over here, but what is it? Because people are moving in? Okay. Why won't people take the jobs? I don't know. They don't want the jobs. Let's try some low rent housing here. I saved this spot here. And then I usually do that. Let's check out some low rent housing. Good stuff. Alright, they're not screaming about anything. High noise pollution, man. It's tough. Tough, guys. Ugh. I just shouldn't have zoned that. Oh, I shouldn't have zoned that. Okay. You live and you learn. We'll dampen that with... I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I digress. So... oil truck. If I don't have the services to fix that, is that gonna stay there? Ugh. I didn't want to do this. There goes all my money. All of it. All of my hard-earned American dollars. I guess it ended up clearing itself. I don't know. I placed this thing down. It says... that definitely didn't help the noise pollution. Yeah. City firehouse. I like the divided ones because they put if you ever put a bus stop, it'll be on this divider. The bus stop will be. And that's pretty legit. Anyway, I wanted to upgrade this to make more money, but instead, here we are. Too many people in my city, not enough jobs. Get it, fire truck, get it. Are you doing anything? Okay. Okay. Wealth. They're happy about the wealth. It's good. High demand for everything. So I should be zoning. I should be doing X, Y, and Z, but okay. I hope you guys learned some things. That really is European gas. That's so funny. making money. We'll see you guys next Friday to continue on our Neon Harbor. Yeah. We'll probably start on pause, zone a whole bunch more new stuff just to start off. Yeah. Saving our Neon Harbor. Until we meet again next Friday. See you later, guys.